What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I know it's been a little bit, but that's my fault. That's be my fault. Today, we're looking at 10 plot holes that nobody notices here on this website. This is modified May 31st of 2022, meaning this could also involve, I don't think it involves Dragon Ball superheroes or anything like that I can tell from what I know, but you never know. But apparently, there's 10 plot holes in Dragon Ball. Don't worry, I'll be going to some other animes. We'll look at some plot holes there. But let's get it. Let's get it. Why are these Dragon Ball events so confusing? One, how does hell works? Alrighty. How does hell works? Apparently, this is an important thing because I didn't know that was very important. Hell, a lot of times in the Dragon Ball franchise, first it was just a dark place with some arguers worked to win, but as more villains were defeated, hell became more open wasteland with those beings from could roam freely but never leave. Okay. So that's why it's so confusing when we see Hell again doing the Resurrect F. He's hanging outside down a cocoon with fairies flying around him. It's a torture for the Emperor, that's for sure, but it was not in that condition. The last time we saw him cheer for Goku's destruction while still in hell. It does not explain what happened or why Frieza appears to be in his normal form last during Goku's fight Boo, but he's in his mecha form later. It's called, if I'm not mistaken, it's called what's that thing? Non-canon is what it's called. I don't know why people this the problem I have sometimes. What I have sometimes is people confuse this with canon material compared to non-canon stuff. What you saw in the Boo arc, Dragon Ball Z, non-canon stuff. Non-canon. A lot of stuff is not canon. That's why I know a lot of people love Dragon Ball Z and didn't watch Dragon Ball Z Kai. Dragon Ball Z Kai is exactly what they did with Dragon Ball Z Kai was take everything from the manga and just animated manga, just manga wise. That's why you don't see random fillers in Dragon Ball Z Kai. And people don't like that. So they're stuck with the Dragon Ball Z's logic when it because it came out first. They're like, oh yeah, this came out first, so it has to be canon. It's not. They added in filler episodes, the Goku and them scared something to watch throughout the times when they was animated the next episodes or so. And canon form, hell doesn't really get that much explanation to it. It's just hell. I think everybody has their own personal hell, and what they do in that hell varies. It doesn't really matter. That's why, because it's not canon. I mean, quite honestly, it's not canon. Who can breathe in space? Oh, fun. When space becomes relevant at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, we were told that Saiyans cannot breathe in space and need places with atmosphere to live. We are shown several examples of this every time the Z Warriors need to travel to a planet. Goku is even shown using a spacesuit once, but there has been some examples of Saiyans fighting in space and have no problem beating. Bardock's fighting against Frieza Force happens off the planet, and he is not affected by this fact. I've seen this argument before. I have seen this argument before. Up, there's a little bit more. There's a little bit more. Let me go back up. The same goes for Goku's fighting against Beerus. They could have been inside the stratosphere and not in the outer space, but we have no information to support that. From what I'm understanding, and from what I can tell, headcanon. By the way, I'm headcanoning a lot of this stuff. A lot of this stuff I'm a headcanon because it don't really matter. From what I can tell, a lot of the Saiyans go to different planets, and the planets that they go to, their their technology is supposed to be advanced to where they can survive that atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Whenever, because there's no explanation to how they can arrive on any planet and breathe on any planet, right? Doesn't explain it because every planet is going to have a different. They have different gravity, as Vegeta and Nappa has told us when they landed on Earth. They said, "Oh yeah, this gravity here on Earth is good enough for us to bury their bodies, right?" I wish I didn't have ads on here because this is idiotic. My fault. Right. They're like, oh yeah, this is a nice place for us to breathe in. We can just breathe or whatever. And it could just whatever, it doesn't even matter. From non-canon to canon stuff, it doesn't matter. Any place they went to, they can just breathe on there automatically and live their best life possible, is what happens here. From what I can understand, I believe the Saiyans that are born on planet Vegeta, that was raised on planet Vegeta, they can survive space. They just can. I don't know. I don't have the explanation. They just can. There was no point of time to where they saying they couldn't do it. I think they just can, because Frieza can breathe in space perfectly fine. And why would they have a race of warriors that they can control that just can't breathe in space? Because now they can't really do anything. Not only that, but if you ever noticed that the same armor that they wear, that's it. That's just the same armor that they wear. They don't wear anything else. They don't put on the helmets and stuff that they would have put on if they was going on different planets and stuff like that. When they went to Namek and they landed on Namek, they Krillin and Gohan and Bulma, they were having a spaceship just to fly in space, but once they landed on Namek, you see they took all that off. So clearly it's by planet. I believe the technology somehow don't understand. Now I don't have anything to explain it with headcanon. Somehow the their technology has allowed them to breathe on these planets. Never explained. Once again, something that's never explained. Plot hole? I don't think so. The fight versus Beerus, I always assume because he reached God status. I think once you reach God status of a transformation or something, that you are that you're good. You're in God form. You don't have that problems once you're in God form. In my personal opinion, you in God form. Once you're supposed to be weird if you couldn't do it. That's headcanon on that one. Why were there dinosaurs? What? Beer supposedly killed all the dinosaurs when he last visited Earth. They were totally rude to him, so he decided to wipe the species from the planet. Although he chose not to destroy the rest of Earth. The the This assumption asserting this makes no sense when you think about Goku's adventure doing Dragon Ball and Gohan's training with Piccolo at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. Both fought dinosaurs during their childhood. They even seen running away from the Cell Saga. We're never told what actually happened. I've heard about this one, and from what everybody was saying is that Beerus is lazy. He killed majority of the dinosaurs, and probably majority of these dinosaurs didn't actually die, and that he gets real lazy about finishing the job that he was supposed to be doing in the first place. So he decided not to kill them all. Plus, they're dinosaurs. Who really cares? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like they also popped up in GT. If I'm not mistaken, I think in GT they had dinosaurs. I know Goten. Even in I think Goten even encountered some dinosaurs. So it's not like they was that important. There were a vast amount of dinosaurs, so that we could tell that Beerus been around longer than long as the dinosaurs ran the planet Earth, and he got annoyed with them, so he killed majority of them. Doesn't mean he killed all of them. If you see somebody get, I mean, they like they did in the Cell Saga, they saw a bunch of stuff going on. They're not gonna stay around. They ran away. And they probably ran, got in hiding, and they still made babies or whatever. And Beerus left the planet, never returned back. So laziness. I mean, clear laziness, clear not doing his job. That's what that is. Beerus not doing his job. That's just what it is. When was Planet Vegeta destroyed? Ugh. When Raditz was first introduced to us during Dragon Ball Z's first episode, he explained Goku. They are some of the last things because 3 years before he arrived on Earth, the planet was destroyed by a comet, but we now know it was Frieza. Correct, because it's supposed to have been Beerus. So this must have came out before the Brawly movie too. But this time frame does not fit with the events that are shown later in the series. When Frieza destroyed Planet Vegeta, Goku was just a baby. You are correct. And Raditz was still a small child traveling with the prince. There was at least 23-year gap because Goku was that age when Raditz appeared. This was written before Brawly, right? Dragon Ball Z Brawly, if I'm not mistaken. Because this is the 20 this is of 20. I couldn't find, like, I was looking for 2024 plot holes to see if anybody updates since then. But this is the closest I got. I think there was some on Reddit, but I was like, I don't really. Oh no, the Super Broly movie came out in 2018. Oh, so you're just going based off your facts of not watching the Broly movie from 2018. That's what this is. Yeah, yeah, that's been declined already. I mean, that's been clearly declined. That's been talked about and everything like that. It doesn't really matter. It just got destroyed. It destroyed at some point during Goku's youth, whether Raditz was an adult or not. That it doesn't even explain how old Raditz is. Y'all got, like I said, a lot of these people are going off of information that they just don't have. That that's just what this is. They just going off information they just have. They're just assuming, oh yeah, it was at least a 23-year gap. Why would you just assume it's been 23 years since Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball and Dragon like if you read the manga, which I know a lot of y'all don't read mangas, in the manga, he goes from a kid and then he ended up training for about a couple years and then he just got taller and bigger. And then after he got taller and bigger, pretty much Goku Goku was basically maybe teenager years or something like that. I don't even know how old he exactly was. And then in the manga, it doesn't have this. Oh, few years. It's been a couple. No, 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 no. They just go straight to Dragon Ball Z to the Dragon Ball Z portion. That's just all it does. It doesn't. There is no breakage into the show. It's just a complete Dragon Ball. The complete Dragon Ball thing is like this. It's like that big or so. That's what they do. It doesn't matter how old they were because you can't just assume Raditz was X amount of ages. This is people just filling in information because they're just using, once again, headcanon. Like I'm using headcanon right now. I'm using headcanon because if you go look, there's no legit age about how old Bradish is. It's just because it also doesn't matter how old he was. Once he hits, he wants. It's kind of like because the Saiyans don't age properly. Once they get to the I'll say probably teenage bodies. That's just what they are. They're teenagers. That's in their teenage bodies after that. So I'm really confused why this is very important. That's how long it stays. It's been like that. It's been like that. No matter what, Goku was still a baby when it blew up, and that's pretty much the end of it. I don't know what else they want. I really don't know. Gohan's nightmare. Was this non-canon? When the Terran Cell threatened Earth, the Z5s decided to train inside a hyperbolic time chamber, where you could prepare for a year while only a day passes outside. Okay, Gohan goes inside with his dad, while Cell is in his semi-perfect form. So neither he nor Gohan sees the perfect android before entering. Even then, Gohan still has a nightmare where his mother and Piccolo arrive at the chamber just to be killed by Cell in his perfect form when he appears out of nowhere. This makes no sense when we consider that Gohan never saw anything resembling Cell's perfect form before the dream. Non-canon. Non-canon. That's what that is. It's non-canon. This is what happens when you watch Dragon Ball Z, don't read the manga, or watch Dragon Ball Kai. Non-canon. Gohan even said in the training, "Wait, Dad, I haven't seen Cell, so how am I supposed to do this?" Oh yeah, I haven't seen him either. Oh, actually, Goku did see Cell at one point. He said, well, picture Frieza doing all this stuff is what he ended up doing, and that's how and use that anger to build up all that, and is how Gohan became a Super Saiyan. If you use Dragon Ball Z and not Dragon Ball Z Kai, or read the manga, he didn't have a dream about that. That dream was never such thing as the dream. There was nothing, no nightmare. Non-canon. Goku's the only one to run the snake way back. What? When we first witnessed Shamrock's power to resurrect people, we saw that he can bring them back to the place where they were wished back from. Krillin, Master Roshi, and Chacho appear before their friends inside their coffins. After that, every time someone gets revived, they appear below the dragon. Correct. This is not only the case when Goku is trained in Otherworld with North Kai. When he gets resurrected, he needs to fly all the way back to King Yama's place to go back to Earth. But that never happens again. Not even the other Z fighters training with North Kai would get revived in the future. Off screen. It's off screen. I don't. It's off screen. Who cares? From what I'm understanding, all the Z fighters, Krillin, no, not Krillin. Krillin didn't die. Tien, Yamcha, Chaozu, and Piccolo all arrived at North Kai's place faster than what Goku did. Meaning, they would have if that's the case, then they would have they beat his time, right? They killed his time. Meaning, they broke his time going back to King Yama's place to go back to Earth. Don't need to see it. I don't tell y'all. Don't need to see it. And they say this, but then later on, like the other when Goku died again, he's on North Kai's place. He didn't need to go fly back to the. He didn't need to go that when he died. He just automatically appeared in on North Kai's planet. He just got there. So clearly, that doesn't it, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Once again, it's nitpicking. It's nitpicking. People who don't believe in power of Z Warriors. People do not. When the Saiyans arrived, the people on Earth was witness to their extraordinary powers and destructibility. Not even fighting against the army and destroyed city. Basically, the people of Earth have seen lots of individuals with superhuman abilities since the beginning of Dragon Ball. But somehow, no one believed that individual with the strength to Cell and Goku could exist. Instead, they believed Mr. Satan when he told them that it was part of a Ravnik scheme. Yes, this could even be in the this they could even be in denial because of fear, but when the fight is over, they still believe the same. Yes. Dragon Ball. Let's go back to Dragon Ball. Once again, people don't I swear. Watch Dragon Ball, people. Watch Dragon Ball, read the manga, please. Pay attention. When let's think back. When the Demon King Piccolo was around, he killed a lot of people by himself. He killed a lot of people. And those people got killed when they was brought back. They were just brought back to life. Those people don't even know how they was brought back to life. They just know they was brought back to life. A lot of people don't remember this or this at all. A lot of people remember this, but they thought Goku had died. He just disappeared. There was no explanation. They just thought he disappeared. They said is even one of the guys was like, "Hey, yeah, you was that the announcer guy for the tournament." He's like, "Oh yeah, you was that kid with the weird hair and stuff." Yeah. He thought they were dead, long gone. Don't even know where they came from, right? He don't know where they came from, so he just assumed they was gone. So while that's going on, people got to remember while they're fighting the Saiyans, who they put up in the city to destroy the city or whatever, they disappeared. They can't track them. People ain't tracking these random people. Plus, it happens in random cities. They don't know what cities. You got to think about that. If something happened in City Zero or something, City B, who's like 3 cities away or so many islands away, unless the news tell them, they don't know what's going on. They do not know what's going on. So when they don't know what's going on, they don't know the Saiyans popped up and one shot at some people. They don't know that. Plus, they don't even know where they went after that. So they left. The Saiyans pulled up, body left. They don't know what happened. On top of that, while Goku and them and Vegeta's having this epic clash of fighting, people are still living their regular day lives. The tournament was still going on, and Mr. Satan, who is arguably the strongest regular human in the entire show, not arguably, he is the strongest non-superpower human in the entire show. He's winning the World Martial Arts Tournament, a tournament that Goku and them have not competed in so many years. He becomes the champion of the world. Why do you think during the Cell games, when he said, "Yeah, I'm going to stop Cell myself," everybody in the world was like, "Yeah, Mr. Satan gonna get that man." He's looked at to be the hero of the world. They don't know nothing about Goku. They don't know nothing about Gohan, Piccolo. They don't know anything about that. Even actually, one of the guys during the tournament, during the Buu Saga tournament, when Piccolo pulled up, they remember Piccolo from the Demon King all those years ago. And Piccolo ended up blowing up all the cameras because of that. He said, "Nah, we're not gonna have that." So he went ahead and blew up all the cameras to make sure no one's cameras and stuff was working. Because if people are still alive that can remember him as the Demon King, they're gonna freak out. Like, what happened? Why is the Demon King still alive? We thought he was dead after all these years. He just didn't die or something. That's what ended up happening. So a lot of people don't know about all this stuff. Y'all remember in the Buu Saga, Goku and Vegeta begged the world to give them powers, and they told them, those fans like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. It had to be Mr. Satan to tell those people to put their hands up for what he says because he is the champion of the world. As I said, people don't watch. It's either Dragon Ball fans don't watch the show, or people just like to make random stuff just to say random stuff. So yes, if these people, if Goku, and I mean, if Gohan and Tien and Yamcha actually put themselves out there, then yes, people and put themselves in the world tournament and actually win the world tournament instead of Mr. Satan all those years or so. If they actually did that, yes, then people would believe in the powers of the Z Fighters. The Z Fighters don't want that. They want a normal, regular life doing what they do and kicking butt without the world knowing. That's what they do. That is. Trunks warning of 19 and 20. What? Did you know in the Dragon Ball Z manga? Let's expand this tweet real quick. Trunks warned Goku of androids 19 plus 20, which we know are not the ones who killed everyone. When he returns to the present after their defeat, he suddenly knows 17 plus 18 and even describes them. Toriyama's editors didn't like 19 plus 20's design. Then he created his ultimate killing machine, mechanic number 19, and they killed him. So the only androids Vice and Joy Slot and Man Slot 17 and 18. When Trunks comes back from the future to warn the Z Fighters about the threats that he mentioned, two powerful individuals, including referring to 19 and 20, the androids appear precisely when they should, and our heroes go after them to protect the Earth. But when Trunks comes back and does not recognize the androids, the android his friends have been fighting only knows 17 and 18, but this is not possible if all the previous events happened just as in his story time, in his timeline. 19 and 20 would have been androids and what have been the androids encounter on that day since they had no reason to awaken the other two. Yeah. I've had a theory. I have a theory. I've been having a theory. I hate ads. Look at this ad. Wait, place the ice cube on a burger. What are we doing here, people? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What is this? What is this? Get this out the way. Get this out the way. I had a theory, and the Dragon in the show also provides my theory. But I'm not mistaken, there are multiple timelines being alternate every time Trunks does anything. There's a timeline to where Trunks. There's a timeline of Trunks, right? The future Trunks that we know. There's a timeline to where Trunks warns. No, there's a timeline to where I forgot exactly how to explain. There's a timeline to where Trunks comes to the past, tells everybody what's going on. And so there's a time. So he has his timeline to where it's just destroyed. The timeline to where the Z Fighters prepare for Cell. Cell becomes perfect. And there's another timeline to where that Cell came from a different planet. I mean, it comes from a different world in general because he couldn't beat. He couldn't do anything with his trunks and stuff. So there's like 3 to 4. There's 3 timelines getting affected all at once. So there's 3 different timelines. So this could mean there's a timeline to where this trunk that told them about 19 and 20 comes from a different time, comes from the third timeline, or maybe even a fourth timeline. And then there we have the timeline that we have right now with Trunks with 17 and 18, and he's getting confused with the timeline from the Trunks that came to warn them about 1920, but that 1920 trunk, he's dead. Your own question. Lack of training. He's relaxed a lot. It's similar to Go Longer, the strongest Saiyan on the planet. When he is training, he keeps up. He's the strongest Saiyan possible when he's training. Because he would have got one shot at also. He didn't fight against Beerus, he fought against Frieza's army. And he's relaxed. He has a wife, he has a kid, he has a nice home, and he's training because he's exactly what Gohan was doing. Gohan is relaxing. Gohan doesn't keep up with his training because the world is quiet. The world is in peace. He's not training. That's what Krillin did. That's what Yamcha and them doing. They just when you're in peace, they're not training no more. There's no point for them to train. They don't have that same instinct to train 24/7. They don't need it. That's why when Gohan, that's the half of Gohan. Part of Gohan's Saiyan race is wanting to get stronger and wanting to be, and then that other side is human side to where it's peace. There's no point of training. What's there to train for? Who am I training against? For what? Yeah, he's just a human, regular human. Tien trains, but Tien is yeah, he's on a different planet. He's not and when Gohan transformed to a greater first time Piccolo, right say about train when the performance more time blow up the moon to stop Gohan. This essentially does not appear to cause any problems with Earth's atmosphere or its gravitational pull, forces that would quickly get out of control due to its fat. We do not know that Dragon Ball's Earth. We do not know that Dragon Ball's Earth works exactly like ours, but it has been presented as the most similar thing to our planet in that universe. There should at least be some consequence for that action, but they never come. Yeah, I don't. I have no answer for that. Just yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's it. That's the end of the article. That was that's it. That was 10. Was that not 10? That 10 already? That is 10. Oh, that's disappointing. They left on the Earth. The moon being blown up. Okay. Left on the moon being blown up. That's the. Considering that technically Dragon Ball's Earth is similar to ours, technically, it's not really because their universe works way different than ours. Considering that our universe also have the universes have multiple planets throughout, and they don't really talk about galaxies at all. They don't talk about galaxies at all. Mm-mm. Considering not only that, but there is hell, there is Supreme Kai's world, then there's I don't know where what heaven. I don't know where they would put heaven at. Beerus's planet is there. It's a lot of stuff. I wouldn't call it just a normal Earth because there's more than just that. Here, regular Earth people, us Earthlings, regular people, we think it's just hell, Earth, and heaven. And hell and Earth is the middle. Earth is the middle, pretty much like a battleground for Heaven and Earth if they ever decided to collide right now. Dragon Ball doesn't have that. They have a demon realm. There's a demon realm involved. Like I said, there's hell. Um, Afterlife for them doesn't necessarily say they're in heaven, but they saying they are in heaven. And then even so, there's a higher tier after that. You know what I'm saying? Barrett's planet is somewhere in the universe, but doesn't tell you where. It's just somewhere far away from Earth. So he's somewhere in the middle of the universe, just chilling. Mix that in, the Saiyans planet was close to Earth, and a lot of like the universe is huge. Like the universe is really huge. It's not small. So I don't know why would they assume Earth is the same as ours. It's definitely not. That's definitely not. Because if any point in time they can write in, there's other realms that can be accessed that's on Earth. and that just expand the Earth place. Actually, I want to see if there. So I feel like somebody's done this before. Somebody created the. I feel like somebody has a photo of the quote unquote Dragon Ball Z universe or whatever, the Dragon Ball universe, and what it looks like. I'm pretty sure it's on Google. I have to see if I can search it up real quick. But I mean, we're gonna be destroyed. I think somebody said there's a filler episode in Dragon Ball Z that explains all that. I don't know. I didn't watch. I didn't. I don't know. I don't really care if it was or wasn't. I am not gonna lie to you guys because if there's cool. I mean, Dragon Ball's universe. I guess universe is how they work it. Yep. Here's a photo of it. Is how they. Here, let me share it on my screen real quick so you guys can see that also. Do it real fast. Right here is how they explain it right here. Let's make this bigger. We'll click on it. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's go back. Let's just make this. Let's just. How do I do this? What am I doing? We are. Let's open it in a open new link in a new window. Let's do that. That didn't do what I wanted to do. I take that back. How do I make this bigger? I could not make this bigger for some reason. I'm having trouble right about now. Yeah. And next time I click on this one, it's not doing it. Anyway, you can tell. I'm sorry, I can't get it bigger. I'm sorry. Oh, I can just zoom in. I'm slow. That's what this is. Right here. It just tells you right here. This is how they said this is the universe and how the universe worked for the Dragon Ball Z universe for whatever reason. That's what they said. They said this is our Earth is right here. There's the planet here. Heaven is right here. The check-in station. There's the sun. There is the Kai's north, south, east. The Kai's place. There is Snake Wave is down here. Here's Hell. Here's the Mortal Universe stuff over here. A bunch of stuff. So this is a bunch of stuff. This is what they saying Universe 7 looks like. A bunch of just a random bunch of stuff. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's what they're saying. This is what Universe 7 actually was. I don't know where they got this from. I think it's from Dragon Ball Super, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, is this it? This might be it right here. This might be it, but that's what they said. That's what it looks like. I'm not 100% sure. Look at all these. Look at all this art right here. Look at this crap. Look at this crap. But this is the argument that people like to use right here. Just this is what they say. This is what the universe looks like for Universe 7. So you can't sit there and say, "Oh, it should have some sort of effect." I'm assuming the moon is somewhere so small over here somewhere. I don't know. Y'all let me know about that one. I don't know. Hit the like, comment, subscribe. And we'll be doing like Naruto's plot holes next. I'll see if I can find some Demon Slayers plot holes, some Seven Deadly Sins plot holes. We're gonna do some lot of anime plot holes on here. I guess. Why not? Why not? I